Yeah, that's Louis Armstrong.
Is
I
it?
see clouds
Oh,
of
yeah.
blue. Yeah.
I wish he could redo that Beyonce song.
Hold on.
Slow down.
Get that bass out of your voice, Cathy Kelley. Welcome.
Get the snot out of my nose.
Welcome to Sam and Cathy, another episode of Sam and Cathy, the fabulous companion podcast to Sam Roberts Show, which I host alongside Cathy every night.
I didn't know where you were going to go with that.
Yeah.
Which I host.
Cathy, take a hint, maybe. Maybe shrink down so those britches aren't so big.
Too big for him right now.
Or I guess the britches would be small. I host every night alongside Cathy Kelley, Monday through Friday, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, live on XM 103, Sirius 206. So you can get yourself a Sirius XM subscription, and you can listen on the app or whatever you want to do whenever time you want to. But we do this every Monday morning because we want to. So welcome to Sam and Cathy. Adrian's here, our producer.
We do what we want, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Cathy's been singing.
Is that Adrian?
Cathy is enjoying the bass in her voice because you really today, Cathy. I understand that it's just audio, but you could still not show up looking like a bucket of snot.
I don't look like a bucket of snot. I just am.
Oh, my mistake. Cathy is panicking because she woke up late last night and she thinks she's getting sick. And she's one of these people who cannot handle being sick.
I don't have time for that.
Right, because there's no time. Which, by the way, only makes you more sick because you start stressing out immediately at the first symptom.
Oh, no. My voice is going out.
Right.
But thankfully, because I usually don't have, like, medicines or anything around. I have Advil and that's it, or ibuprofen. Dasha Fuentes gave me a little care package, and it had some emergency in it.
Hey.
Which I wouldn't have had otherwise.
Right. Well, I mean, you live by yourself, right?
Yeah.
So how do you take care of yourself if you don't have any medicine?
I don't get sick.
Oh,
I get sick like once
apparently
every
not.
blue moon. Yeah.
Apparently you don't get sick. What's going on today?
I have a lot of snot
Oh.
in my nose.
Oh. Now are you the type?
It's like cute though.
It is, yeah.
Like cute snot, you know.
It's just like I'm like cute sick. You know what I mean? Like I can still work. It's just like it's kind of cute. Yeah. Do you get phlegmy? Like do you have to like hawk loogies in the shower and stuff?
Phlegmy. Wasn't Phlegm a band?
I think there was a band called Phlegm.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is.
I mean, in the 90s, you know, to not take the fucking low-hanging fruit like phlegm. Yeah, I would imagine. But do you get phlegmy? Do you hawk loogies?
I haven't yet.
Do you go, like, do you do that stuff?
Sometimes I have in the past, yeah.
I like to hear that.
But, like, in a really cute way.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
You know?
Yeah, and then you just kind of put your little finger in your dimple. Ting, ting, ting. So you panic. Are you the type of person that goes back and tries to figure out where you got sick from? So you can blame the person?
I mean, sometimes I do like blaming people, but I really have no idea where this would have happened from. I have been, taking some planes lately, so I would assume
they're not.
If
they're not yours
on a plane,
you shouldn't be taking them. Taking some planes.
Oh no!
Listen, I can hear it in your voice. It doesn't sound good. It sounds like you've got a lot of congestion, Adrian. It doesn't sound good, does it? Nope. Nope.
I would guess you only have a few days left.
Oh.
To live?
Yeah.
You think she may die of the cold? Prince died of the flu.
Yeah.
This may not be good for you. What do you do then when you get sick?
It depends on how sick and what kind of sick.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll just like sweatpants, Netflix,
chill
by myself.
Wait.
Which is usually how I Netflix and chill.
Right.
But I think like there are other times like when I'm deathly ill and I'm like, Mom, I need you.
That's what happens, right? Like independent people, I feel like just push forward, and then until one day comes, and it might happen once every 2 years or so.
Yeah.
When you get sick and you just can't handle it at all.
Although that's the thing is like when I used to get sick when I was younger, I never got like the luxury of, oh, I'm sick, I get to stay home from school, my mom will take care of me. My mom worked, so I would get sick. She would take a sleeping bag into her office and work, and I would just sleep there on her floor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like I couldn't like play hooky or anything.
Right.
It was like, oh, I was still like doing something.
Right. There was no faking sick because even like if you wanted to avoid a test, it was what would I rather do? Go to school or hang out in a sleeping bag in my mom's office?
Yeah.
Because you can't really get out of the sleeping bag and just have fun because your mom's right there in the office.
And it's also, she worked in a hospital, so it wasn't like.
Oh my God.
I mean, she worked next to a hospital. She taught med school, so it wasn't like a fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm playing hooky day. It was that.
It wasn't like big. She didn't work in a toy company.
Oh God, I wish.
So you never
That'd
had
be the
any sick
life.
days growing up?
Well, I did have sick days. They
No,
just
no,
weren't
no.
like sick days.
I know, but like I mean, like hey, just at home.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, we would have sick days where it's like my mom. The rule would be we couldn't play video games until after school got out normally. So we couldn't play video games until 3:15 because. Otherwise, if we could play video games, we could go to school. And literally, there'd be times where I'd just be sitting there waiting until 3:15 to play Sonic the Hedgehog. And you would think my mom would be like, well, if you're just waiting until 3:15 to play this game, obviously, this was a ruse the entire time.
Dude, I used to fake sick all the time
Yeah.
as a kid.
My parents really wouldn't put up with I had to really, like, have a temperature. There had to be some physical showing that I was sick.
I would get sent home from school.
Yeah, when you go, I don't know, it's my stomach.
I go to the nurse, she'd be like, "Yeah, I mean, I can't stay here.
I can't keep going.
I definitely can't. You don't have a fever," and I'd be like, "Yeah, but I feel it.
Yeah,
There's one coming."
and you figure out as a kid. How old were you when you figure out that
Like third grade.
that they can't say no?
Yeah.
They have to believe you.
And then as I got older, I started having more balls about it, and it would like once every 2 weeks, we just send the nurse, be like, "I gotta."
Did you ever cut class, Kathy? Like in high school?
No,
No.
not really. I'm trying to think. I think I would we would get out of gym class like 5 minutes before the bell rung, and I would like leave. Does that count?
No, it doesn't at all. It doesn't even sort of. I remember when I was a freshman in high school, the first day that I realized I didn't have to go to class anymore. Like these kids, because my social studies class, the teacher we had the worst social studies teacher.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you compare schedules with your friends. Oh, you got him? Oh, it's
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah.
Not good. He was not a good man.
Ugh.
And so like halfway through the school year, a couple of my friends are like, what are you doing next period? I was like, well, we're in the same class. We're going to social studies.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we're not going. And
Oh.
I went, what? And they go, yeah, we're going to cut. And I go, okay, so you could just do that?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah. I'm like, what's the plan? The plan is we're just not going to go. I was like, great. So I didn't go. I just walked around the halls with them. And the only thing you did when you cut class was just keep moving around enough so that the security guards didn't stop
we
you.
had security guards though that like they would check if you had a pass.
Like you had to have a bathroom pass to be
Yeah.
walking around.
I used to, this is how much of a nerd I was.
Yeah.
I used to cut study hall so that I could go to my film editing like room and like edit stuff.
So were you taking like a film class?
Like I would have, like.
So you would only cut class for
junior and
academic
senior
pursuits?
Year, yeah, in junior and senior year, you were allowed to cut study hall if you had a pass from a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would have my teacher at the time call in to the study hall teacher and say, oh, she's here in the film editing room working on something.
So if you were going to skip a class, it's like, okay, there are many steps that we have to go
Yeah.
through before we do this properly.
And then like I felt like I was such a rebel. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not even editing anything. I'm just sitting here with my teacher and discussing like pilots that we could film. What? When I was like 16. Like, we're
hanging
gonna
out
make it huge.
You cut class to hang out with your teacher?
Yeah.
What a dork.
But then, see, like, that's the thing is, like, people think it's a dorky thing.
It is.
But who at 17 had a show on PBS Chicago? This girl.
You did. A lot of other people. Yeah,
that
that's
got
true.
canceled after the first episode.
It did?
But
Did
we
it
made
really-
it to air. Yeah, like, we taped 8 episodes.
What was the show?
It was like a lifestyle young show where we went around Chicago. I was like the one of the correspondents for it, and so I would go to like local stores and be like, hey, like, can we show them what the trends are for this season or whatever.
So this must have been when you were becoming hot Kathy instead of awkward Kathy.
I guess.
Because you couldn't be the correspondent as awkward, Cathy, right?
No way.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. It would. Then PBS would have been like, nope, this does not look like the show
Well,
for us.
they were like, nope, it looks like you're selling stuff and we are public television, so
Is that what it was?
not go through with this. Yeah.
So you were basically, was it one of these shows where it's like, this is what you can do around Chicago type thing?
Yeah. Yeah. But it was called Gen Y TV, so it was for a younger generation.
Yes.
Which is like PBS was
Like
trying
what
to get
generation
into that
specifically?
demographic, like the millennials.
Like
It
Gen
was-
Y?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like they I hate you so much. But like they
I got this idea for a show.
It's crazy.
It's for millennials. I'm going to call it Gen Y TV. All right. How about
You know-
millennial TV?
you know PBS though, like they always have programming for like old
Yes.
people, and then they have like Dragon Tales.
Yes. Yes.
Good
So
show.
it's either for little kids or it's for older people that like
Mm-hmm.
never stop being dorks.
So I thought it was smart that like they wanted to get into that kind of
Sure.
programming, but they just didn't. Either they didn't think it through, or we had different visions for it. And
So, like, what-
then
you
I
go-
thought my life was over when they canceled it.
You did?
Yeah.
You're like, this was my
Like
thing.
I will never work in television again.
And they were right. They were right. Now, so you're doing this thing, and what are you doing? Like going to go-kart places and stuff like that? And they're thinking that you're doing a commercial for them?
No, we went to. I mean, it was advertising for them, but no more so than anything else that's ever on television, whether
Right.
it's news or whatever. I went to. I found cool places in the city. Like there was this place called Mojo Spa where they would, while you were getting like your nails done, they would give you a gourmet breakfast and champagne and stuff. And then went to like some clothing places. We went to one of the very first dinner and movie places. You know how they're big now.
Yeah, where they serve you as the
Yeah,
movie's on.
and they had like interesting names for their food, like the Whoopi Goldberger, and
You must have loved that.
oh my gosh,
Hilarious.
But you never got to. But you filmed 8 and never got to show 7 of them.
yeah,
Do you have them?
yeah.
Oh, do you ever watch them and be like, look at what could have been. Look at what PBS missed out on.
Totally.
Do you still think they're good
What
shows?
the packages that I have, I think are good.
Right.
Like they would still hold up. They would be on some public access channel.
Yeah,
for sure.
good for public access.
For sure.
You do see shows like that, though. After SNL, do you ever leave the TV on after SNL? Because in New York, like Audrina Patridge or something from The Hills.
First Look television. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that show. Like I actually really wanted to host that years ago.
She goes from like spot to spot in New York. Like she's like, this is the fish market.
And then they have those in the cabs too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like Talk Stoop.
Yeah.
Talk Stoop. Yeah. Where they go, that's another New York show.
But it's something that you can just zone out, and it like kind of is an escape of like,
Right.
even if you don't live in New York, like that was one of those things where I was like, oh, that's cool. Like they're going to this place, and you try to make it like when you're producing those episodes, make it so that even if the people don't live here and they can't go to that location, they can still be transported into, oh, she's doing, trapeze school. Like that looks
Right.
cool.
And she never comes across as a local, meaning it's like if you're watching from someplace outside of New York, that's me experiencing these things.
Well,
But
because she's from Orange County, right?
that's right. The real OC.
Oh no, she wasn't on OC. She was on the Hills.
But wasn't the Hills labeled the real OC?
No, because the Hills was in Los Angeles.
So what was the real OC?
Orange County.
That was another reality
Or it
show?
was like Laguna Beach. That's what it
Laguna
was.
Beach was the real
Yeah,
OC.
yeah.
She wasn't on Laguna Beach, though?
No.
She was on the Hills.
She came in the Hills, yeah. She
Oh.
was like one of the girls that lived in the same complex as Lauren Conrad. So.
Oh, wow.
Why do I know this?
I know, because you watch the Hills a lot.
Embarrassing.
It is. I feel like every
I miss
episode. You do miss it.
A little bit.
That's gross. I feel like every episode of that show, though, they go to the fish market. Maybe it's just in my head. I feel like every time I turn that show on, Audrina Patridge is showing people how to throw fish around the fish market. And it's just like, look, we're at the fish market. And I go, I swear to God, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
I know there's a fish market.
Actually, one of my good friends was up for that position that Audrina got. And she was like heartbroken that she didn't get it. And when you realize like, oh, it's someone that has 400,000 Twitter followers versus.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to watch somebody that's supposed to be. See, I guess Audrina Patridge is smart at the end of the day because she is this person who has some level of fame. Like, I don't really know anything about her. Adrian, you have no idea who this person is.
No.
But she got a big following from this show, The
Yeah.
Hills, the reality show. And most of these,
Not many reality stars can translate that to something else.
well, I would think that a
Kristen
lot.
Cavallari did as well. Lauren Conrad did. All of those girls.
What's she doing? What's the Kristen?
Kristen Cavallari, she married Jay Cutler for one.
Oh,
so,
excuse
Good
me.
for her.
Yeah.
Handsome man.
And
Jay's the
they're
man.
like having a whole football team worth of kids. And then
I would too if I was married to Jay Cutler. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Let's make some babies, Jay.
Yeah, rocket
but
on.
she had a show on E! for a little bit about fashion.
I feel like a lot of those reality show people
Mm-hmm.
would not go and host a show on local NBC New York at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
But First Look is national.
It is?
Yeah. That's what you don't know.
I didn't know that.
First Look airs. I remember watching it in Chicago. I remember it's on in LA. And then I think you can watch it online as well. I'm giving them so much promotion on our podcast.
It's one of these weird TV Yeah, this is why PBS fired you, by the way. Enough of your Hills plugola. This is one of these TV shows, though, that nobody knows about, but a lot of people watch.
Yeah.
I guess there is a market, right? When you can find a
If
spot.
there's only infomercials on at that time of night,
Right. Plus, that SNL is the ultimate lead-in because SNL is the show that you just kind of leave on because now it's 1 o'clock in the morning and you either fell asleep on the couch or you're too lazy to get up. Mm-hmm. And you're like, what's this? Is that the chick from the Hills throwing fish around?
I don't know if they do it anymore, but I think they replay it too.
They
couple
do?
Times, yeah.
Fish are just in the air going, it's like the Little Mermaid over here.
I don't
Singing
know why
under
that
the
made me
sea.
laugh so much.
Because, I mean, it just
The girl from the hills?
throwing fish around. It's incredible.
Is this how trout go upstream?
Yeah, I gotta go to New York. This is wait. This is every day. This is better than SNL. Yeah. So, Cathy, it sounds then that you were always looking to work. Like, at what age would you say you were done with school? Because if you wanted a show on PBS,
Oh, I wanted to quit school at 12, and I tried to convince my mom to move to LA, and she said, no, I have a job here. That's not going to happen. And I
Right.
was devastated. I thought she was the worst mother ever.
you did. You wanted to be a child actor.
Yeah.
How did your mom deal with that? Your mom is a single mom. She's in Chicago. She's trying so hard that she's got sleeping bags in her. She's teaching the future doctors of America.
Yeah.
Right? Like she is teaching people who are in med school.
And then she has this brat in
She's
a
got this daughter.
Disney sleeping bag.
and sick. Here's your stupid Sleeping Beauty sleeping bag. She zips you up. She probably zipped it over your head. So she's just like basically throwing you in a potato sack in the closet.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there going, you're the worst mom because I want to be on the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
How did she deal with that?
She let me do plays and stuff and just came to those when she had time.
Let me tell you, you would not have a career in entertainment if I was your mom.
Yeah.
No,
See,
I would
that's
have
the
beaten
thing.
that out of you.
It's hilarious
your
how
fists?
opposite
Oh, yeah.
we are.
You and your mom?
Yeah.
How so?
Like, she sometimes wonders whether I was switched at birth because she's such a tomboy. She's worn makeup twice in her life.
What?
She wants nothing to do with the industry. Just thinks it's hilarious.
Right.
And I,
Right. And she tried to get you to be a tomboy. You were saying before that she, like, you wanted to be an ice skater, so she put you in ice hockey.
yeah,
And would she take you out to dance to do soccer or something?
Yeah.
So she wanted a tomboy.
yeah.
She wanted a boy, let's be honest.
No, she did. She's told me that several times.
Right. And then
She said she didn't know what she would do if she had a girl.
she did have a girl. And
She
then-
said she only came up with the boy names. too. And they actually, the doctor told her she was having a boy, so she didn't know until
what would your boy name have been?
Sam or Nicholas.
Listen to that. Sam or Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
Samuel Kelly? Let me tell you something. It's a good thing you were born a girl
Yeah.
because you would have been walking in my shadow as every other Sam does.
No.
You know, it would have been tough for you. It would have been really, really tough. You see it, right, Adrian?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Ask Samuel Jackson.
Right, ask Sam Waterston. It happens to all of them now. Yeah. Well, he's an actor.
What if I were a boy too and she tried to put me in a or ice hockey and I'd be like, no, I want to do figure skating.
Yeah, she just had a very effeminate gay boy. Like, but so you wanted to be a child actor.
Yeah.
You must be glad now that you weren't a child actor.
Oh no, I'm still pissed.
You are.
Yeah, I would
You
have had
wouldn't-
like years ahead of like everything.
You don't think you would have been on drugs by now?
No.
I don't know.
Probably.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you would have been disturbed. Your youth would have been disrupted.
Yeah.
You would have been taken advantage of too.
Maybe.
You know? I think so.
But I've had a tougher skin for it too.
I mean, I guess, but like some of those people that go through that, there's very few
Yeah.
child stars. Like I would think that at this point you can like say, okay, finally now. Maybe not a year ago.
Yeah.
But finally now say, okay, I'm in a place where I like where I'm at.
Well, that's the thing though. Yeah, no, I'm very happy with how my life has turned out.
Like, you know, is Sam Roberts show, is WWE, are they looking for the chick from Even Stevens? I don't think so.
Oh my gosh. I have to tell you, that was the first person that I ever like pooped my pants for on the red carpet. Like I was so excited.
Ew.
That's disgusting.
And then you did, and then you started doing that regularly?
No,
That's
You
so
shit your pants
no,
on
that
red
was like
carpet.
way later. Like I had interviewed a ton of people. Not
You're
literally.
filthy.
She
not
said it was
literally.
the first person, so it's like that means it's done like
This has become a cycle.
else?
No, I was so excited to interview
often do you
Jesse
defecate?
Romano.
Who else did you shit yourself for?
Probably like just her.
How many times?
Just once.
Still,
Not
once
like
that's
literally.
disgusting.
You're
Yeah, that's
gross
gross.
that you think that.
Did
That's
you shower?
real.
Yeah. More like the brown carpet. That's gross. It's disgusting. What color dress were you wearing?
I don't remember.
I bet I know what color it was after.
No.
You're nasty. You got very excited. You get very excited.
It's
to
Jackson if you're nasty.
Yeah, and you're just like, I am.
What if I actually did that during an interview? Be like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, you should try that. I wish you'd done that in like your WWE like final interview. Be like, I want you guys to know, like, I'm all for live. Live for me is the best. There are times I'm a huge wrestling fan, and there are times when I get so excited that I do have an accident, and that's happened on the red carpet.
I am like a puppy.
Have you ever seen a puppy? I don't understand about puppies. Because I've seen my dog did this when we first moved it back into our house. Like, it got so excited, but they get excited, right?
Yeah.
And then they run around. But if they, like, shit themselves, they don't just, like, it doesn't just come out. Like, my dog, like, would run around, and so excited, then stop, then squat. And I go, Lila, what are you doing? What are you doing right now?
And
Don't
she-
do that.
She looks at you like, no, it has to happen.
And she's like, I'm doing it right now. This is happening. Like, eye contact. This is happening today. And it's happening in the living room.
No bladder control. I wonder if that's. I always wanted to name a puppy R. Kelly. Because they just get so excited that they pee.
They just pee everywhere. That's what happened with R. Kelly. It was just, he couldn't hold it in anymore. He couldn't hold it in. But you wanted to be the chick from Even Stevens?
Oh, 100%.
when you were in high school?
I mean,
From
I think
12 on.
At high school, I probably wanted to be Hill or Duff the most.
Right. And then she got to marry the good Charlotte, and you're like, whoa.
No, she did. She
They got
she
married.
not married Good Charlotte guy. I thought she married the ice hockey player.
I think.
Maybe she
Did
got
she get married and get divorced?
maybe
She got divorced from the ice hockey
I don't want to
player.
gossip.
Maybe she got divorced from Good Charlotte and the hockey player. I
think
feel like
so.
she was married to Good Charlotte for a minute. But,
I think she just dated him.
well, whatever. You could have dated Good Charlotte then.
Hmm.
So how long into
I had a crazy crush on Pete Wentz back in the day.
you did?
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
What?
I said I understand.
Okay. All right. Did you see his private photo that came out?
No.
You probably would have had even more of a crush on him.
Read his live journal all the time.
You did? Oh, so you really liked him as a person.
I think live journal was just big.
I know, but like, if you had a crush on somebody, you don't remember. LiveJournal was a blogging service,
Live journal was just like what Twitter is now.
except in much more than 140 characters.
Yeah.
Like you would subscribe to people's blogs, and it wouldn't be blogging like the Huffington Post. It would be just everybody had a blog at that time, and you'd just be like, "Today, Mr. Tedesco said that we had a pop quiz. He's such a loser." when Mark Zuckerberg was creating Facebook,
Yeah.
and he was live blogging while he was doing it. You saw the movie, right?
Yeah.
And he was like calling like the girls pigs or whatever he did. I don't remember. he was live blog. He was live journaling.
I only used my live journal as like I would do mysterious like quotes from songs, like lyrics. It was like subtweeting before it was subtweeting.
Yeah, and you'd be like, wait until everybody tries to figure out what this means. I'm so deep, and everybody was like, oh, this is stupid. What's next?
Yeah,
When nobody
like
asked.
3 followers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that back then,
That was the thing?
kids wrote, and they like it. Would a lot of drama club kids did it. Like it was.
I'm not shocked.
It
by
was
that.
big for the drama
I was
club
in-
kids.
I don't think I would.
You were in drama club?
I mean, we didn't have a club per se, but I was in all the plays.
Yeah, I mean that's drama club. Like it's the
Yeah.
theater group. Yeah, yeah. A lot of theater kids did live.
You were
journal.
too.
I know. That's how I know. I didn't. I started a live journal.
Yeah.
I got bored of it so quick though.
Oh.
Like I would do 2, and then be like, "This is stupid."
None of this is interesting.
And then 6 months later, I'm gonna start live
MySpace
journaling
was
again.
big too.
I got MySpace.
MySpace came after live journal, and I think it's coming back thanks to Justin Timberlake.
MySpace?
It's gonna be May.
You're probably right.
Yeah, I think so. I think he. If anybody, he's got it.
I remember, wow, MySpace, I think I first got on MySpace in 7th grade.
Did
Yeah.
you have your top friends?
Yeah.
Who were they?
The 2 Mikes. My 2 friends, Mike.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know. Yeah, my 2
Mike
friends.
1 and Mike 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Then probably my still best friend today, Alex.
Oh, cool.
Then probably Lindsay.
Oh, you threw Lindsay up there.
Lindsay was the first girl I ever made out with.
Oh, so throw her in the top 8 for sure.
And then later down the road, more stuff happened. But
Is that right? That was after the top 8, though.
yeah,
Not a bad move, Adrian.
who else was in it? I'm not.
Do you remember towards the end of MySpace,
Mm-hmm.
the top 8 became such a thing that they introduced? It was like a top 12 and a top 16.
Yeah,
You could have
could
more
choose,
people in
yeah.
your top.
Remember, you could have like a song that played on your
Well,
page.
That's what destroyed MySpace.
What?
Was that they made it so you could really customize it, and you would go to people's MySpace
much.
pages, and
You
it would
learn HTML just to change your MySpace.
yeah, it would crash your computer. It looked like the most awful GeoCities website that you've ever seen. There'd be like cats floating across the page, and a song's playing,
sparkly gifs.
and a video comes on, yeah, and sparkles are over here, and there's a photo there, and your computer would crash every time. That's why MySpace was destroyed.
I think Facebook just was better
Facebook had control.
because it was so simply laid out. It was aesthetically pleasing. Like,
Plus, they dropped the. It's cleaner.
yeah,
Yeah. And yeah, it's aesthetically pleasing. It was clean, and it had a little. There was a little je ne sais quoi about it when it first started because you had to have a certain school email address. That's true.
Yeah.
When they said that in the movie, like when Syracuse got Facebook, it was like,
It was exclusive.
yeah, no, you'll find out about it later. It came to Syracuse because Syracuse was like one of the first like 25 schools or something to get
Yeah.
it.
I remember when they opened it up to high schoolers, you
Yep.
had to be invited. And I remember saying that I didn't want to join it for the first month. Like, I held out.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And
you were
then
like, I'm not going to join this.
Yeah.
Like, you guys all have fun with your little trendy whatever. I'm busy.
I became a Facebook shill.
You did. You did. It's okay. Everybody is now.
I jumped on right away.
You did. Well, because you can probably bang chicks, right?
Exactly.
yeah.
I used it when I was in high school. I would. That was like kind of like the first gateway to talking to girls who weren't in the same social group as me.
Well, yeah, because you go, oh, single. Is that right? Let me check her status.
Oh, When
wow, look who
everyone
just
used
liked
to,
my
like-
photo.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember when it was a thing of like people would be like in a relationship, not in a relationship, like
Yeah,
every
boom.
other week.
Yeah.
right,
So
right.
weird.
I go, oh,
Are you
well,
okay?
Yeah. Poke.
Ugh.
Oh boy,
Just
Pokes
having
are
fun.
I got
Worst.
poked quite a bit.
You did?
No,
I bet you did. I bet you had uncles that poked you quite a bit. That would explain a lot. Did you get poked a lot, Kathy?
I guess
Yeah.
it's relative.
You weren't impressed, though.
No.
If you got a poke, you weren't like, oh.
he's flirting.
It's annoying that people still poke.
You think so?
Yeah.
I poke dudes. I don't, like every now and then I'll just throw a dude a poke. Like, hey, just so you know I'm thinking about you. Just to see. I think it's
Yeah.
friendly.
To poke?
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And it's old school.
No, I think it's weird.
It's old school.
It's weird.
Well, if you actually are poking a girl
It's weird.
to
Yeah.
express interest, then yeah, it's like,
You're an idiot.
do you not know how Facebook works anymore?
Like, well, even in the beginning, I don't think that any girl was like, "Oh,
Ooh, look who's trying to get my attention.
Who's poking me?
This is what's so stupid about Facebook. They had to have years worth of meetings to figure out a dislike button, but to them, the poke was sort of
brilliant.
It was an initial feature.
Yeah.
It was like, well, Facebook doesn't work without one thing that's going to separate us from Friendster is poke.
I mean, you would get, and then people would be like, I'm in a poke war with this person.
Right. We just
What are you
poke back
talking
and,
about?
We just poke back and forth.
So you just click. When you see that he clicked, you click.
Right.
That's it.
Just poke him back virtually.
It's stupid.
It was always dumb. But a lot of that stuff is dumb.
Yeah.
People just do it because they're bored and it takes time. And then you don't have to have a life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You could just poke people on Facebook all day.
Ugh.
Then you went to college, though, Kathy.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to quit school at 12, how did you function in college?
I didn't want to go to college. My mom made me.
I would imagine.
Me neither.
I was
Do you
also
ever-
pissed because, like, I felt like, especially once I had taken the 3 journalism courses that were offered, like, that
Yeah.
there was nothing else I could do.
Well, Adrian,
Yeah.
I get why Kathy didn't want to go to school. Why didn't you want to go to college?
School sucks.
That's what see, Kathy,
what do
I
you,
wanted
like-
to learn. Like, if there was something I
Kathy-
could learn, but I felt like it was better on
No,
the
that's
job.
what I'm like. I agree with her.
But Kathy was like, yeah, I had this show on PBS and I was taking journalism courses and I was doing this and I was doing that. And you were like, yeah, bro, I used to fake sick and then I didn't want to go to college.
Well, who the fuck likes going to class?
It's just two different sides of the
No,
spectrum.
but it was
I
also
think.
it wasn't just like, oh, school sucks. Like, it was always in my head from the time I was young.
Well,
I was
what
like,
did you
this
wanna
is a
do?
waste of time. Like, I always wanted to do something creative.
Did you have any idea, though?
Yeah, like something writing based.
You didn't think college could help with writing?
I mean, yeah, but I knew it was like I look at it like a sport where it's like it's
Athletes
not like
go
there's only so much someone can tell you where you have to flex the muscle. Do you know what I mean?
Right, but then you go
I
to
just
college
do it
and
over
write.
and over. I was in a writing program in college.
Right, see? Aren't you glad?
No, it's a waste of fucking time. That's why I left.
There are some fundamentals that I think you do learn in
I
classes.
mean, yeah,
but you,
you-
learn
yeah,
so
you learn
much
stuff,
more
but it's
on
like-
the job.
Exactly. I learned more in 2 months of an internship here than I did through all of my schooling.
Not about writing.
Not
I wouldn't say.
necessarily.
Yeah, because college, that would be like, I think if you want to be a writer,
You write. That's it. Just write.
no,
Just
because
bang it out.
that would be like if you want to be a great football player, you would go to college so you could be around even better football players and get better and better and better, right? And you can't just go and play football with the guys in the neighborhood.
Yeah, but you have to put in work
and
on
keep
your
playing.
own.
Yeah, but you would have to
I mean, this is-
continue to learn from better and better people. Now, if
Yeah.
you're in a shitty writing program, obviously you're
I
going to
mean,
get
I was in a
nothing
great
from
writing
it.
program.
Well, then there's no way that you would get as much.
But it got to the point where, like, okay, like, I've done what I can here and now. Like,
Yeah.
You just want to be out of there.
yeah. Like, I'm tired of this shit. Like,
How come you-
I was taking classes on, like, French New Wave film. I was like, okay, this is doing nothing for me.
Yeah, no, I would say that's where. See, they can't just allow people when they go in to just say, "This is what I want to do. Just let me do this."
Yeah, like,
I'll
I
take
don't-
the course classes, but just let me focus on this thing because I already know.
I don't understand the whole major thing. Like, you should be able to choose, like, what classes you want to take
Yeah.
that you think will suit you best. And if you don't want to take classes
Yeah.
that are good for your future, then that's just your own fault.
Right at that point, right? You're paying for it, so you would think that all right, we're going to give you. That would be the best preparation for adulthood. Would be like you have an advisor who's going to be like,
Yeah.
listen, you really should be doing this, this, and this,
You
and
have
this.
to take, like, a certain amount of, like, different level courses.
Yeah,
And that's
but
it.
but say here's what's on the table. Look, you should really take some math courses because you're going to have to learn how to balance a checkbook. You're going to have to do this. This would be good. But here, you could take whatever you want at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that is once you're paying that much money for it, that is the way it should be.
Yeah.
You should be able to just go
People
in
getting bankrupt so they can take classes they're not interested in.
because you're right. Like. If you want to be a writer, you should go to college, definitely, because you're not going to get the same experience just sitting at home and writing as you would.
I mean,
but
it depends on the person. If you
Yeah.
put in the time, if you're just pounding it out, like
Yeah, but you
eventually
can-
something comes.
And it really does matter what kind of instructors you have. because
Exactly.
There were classes where, like, there was a class where I was literally teaching everyone how to edit film because the teacher didn't know how to do it.
Yes.
And then there was another class which was taught by this he was incredible. He was actually a host on PBS in Chicago, and he taught us how to do a long form interview and how to phrase questions in a certain way that'll elicit the best response.
Right.
Which I wouldn't have learned elsewhere.
Right. That's the key. If you to go to school, if you have a thing like writing or broadcasting or whatever it is, or an athlete, and you want to do that professionally, you should be going to school, but you should be going out of your way to find the people that you're going to be able to learn from, because there's literally nobody that can't learn from people.
Yeah.
And there are people set up at these places. That's what I think college is really good for, is they set the table and give opportunity. A lot of times, just the way colleges are set up, you have to work like crazy to find them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they waste. There's so much time wasting, and there's so much core curriculum, and there's so many bad teachers, and there's so
That's the biggest thing is bad teachers.
Right. There's so much stuff occupying your time when in reality, it took me probably 2 years of college before I really found how I can use this system to benefit me and come out better.
That's
What's
weird. I
the-
never found that.
The quote, if you can't do, teach. So why are the people that can't do the thing teaching the people who want to do the thing?
Yeah, that's what I found in all my writing classes for the most part.
Yeah, and that's the same. That is what happens. And
Like-
it's the same. I remember. Oh, I was so pissed. I sat there once, and because I took a bunch of film classes because that's what I was originally going to school for, and there's the assignment in this, and you're right, and you're right, Cathy. All these film teachers were bitter people because they didn't make it.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. Like if you've made it, except RoboCop, everybody else was bitter about not making it.
Yeah.
So
And they're shitty.
and they're shitty people.
Did you notice that my ringtone's also Kim Possible?
You just haven't let it go. You haven't let it go. But like, so there were a couple of things that was made very, very clear to me, and that's why it's almost like when it was made clear to me that the teachers were no good, I wasn't going to learn from the teachers. It was like, okay, but in the aspect of film goes, it goes, but I now have access to all this stuff. Or
Yeah.
all these. So the first one was, we had this film class where they were basically teaching storytelling. And they wanted everybody to bring in an example from a film of a setup shot, meaning the shot that comes in a movie before the opening credits start that explains what you're about to see.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You know how some movies, like
Yeah,
it just cold starts, it gives you in 30 seconds a full explanation
Sets
of
the
what you're
stage.
about to see, and then the title comes on. He wanted explanations of that. So there's this great Japanese movie, and it's called Suicide Club. And it's not like Suicide Squad at all. It's basically a movie about Japanese groupthink and people just doing what's cool. And it's about suicide becoming so trendy with kids that hundreds and thousands of Japanese kids are just killing themselves all the time because it's cool. And it's like, it's kind of like a dark comedy, weird, but
Fucking stupid.
it's interesting. It's interesting. And so the first scene of the movie, it's a line of kids, and they're all in their school uniforms, and they're in front of the subway track, right? And they're all holding hands, and they're waving them back and forth like da 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 da, and they're singing in Japanese. And just as the subway's coming, there's probably
No.
40 or 50 kids.
Oh my
They all
God.
jump right onto the track, and the subway kills all of them. And there's this tidal wave of blood that comes up, and it's like it's schlocky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it says Suicide Club,
Mhm.
and I'm like, this is literally
Exactly what the assignment called for.
right. The teacher was like, "Well, I don't know why you thought it was an appropriate thing to show that to the class. You could probably sit down." And I'm like, this is literally the assignment.
This meets everything you asked for.
Yeah, this is literally. And then the second one was, they had to have us film a metaphor, like use 16 millimeter film to make a film that was a visual metaphor, which I thought was stupid. I was like, this is dumb. So I was like, okay, you want a metaphor? I was like, well, here's the metaphor: the early bird gets the worm. And so I made a movie where we rented a chicken suit, and a guy in a chicken suit bought tickets to a concert from a band called Worm because he got there early. And it was like just the biggest goof ever.
I hate that.
And it was a guy in a chicken suit dancing around, and a poster said Worm. And the teacher goes,
But isn't that just a cliche? That
I don't know.
You filmed the actual version of?
like, well, but early bird gets the worm is a metaphor. You're not actually a bird getting a worm. So it fits the criteria once again. And the guy goes, Sam, if you're going to do comedy, you really got to make sure it's funny.
Ouch.
I was like, what?
See, like you had teachers who were just
Trying to get you
shitty
down.
people, and that's when you
They don't
realize
want you to succeed.
Yeah, that's when
They don't want you to succeed. They don't want you making chicken soup movies. But don't be like they.
Chicken soup movies?
Chicken soup movies.
Chicken soup movies.
You're back into being sick again. Did you say chicken soup?
you kind of realized no matter what you did that they were going to be shitty. For me, when I realized like this is a fucking waste of my time, was when I started to con teachers.
Yeah.
And give them stuff that I knew wasn't good, and they'd be like, "This is great."
And it was just like,
This has hit me emotionally. And I would sit there and be like, I wrote this last night.
yeah.
In like 2 hours, it just became shit. Where I realized like this is all just bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, but at some point you have to like figure out whether it's that way or my way. That it doesn't matter. The teacher part doesn't matter at all. It's just the work. Like, if you want to be a good writer,
You have to do it.
right, and let the teachers assign you something and just not like you can hand it to them because they told you to, but that teaches you to work on a deadline. That teaches you to work on maybe a topic that you wouldn't normally
It's the
write
principles.
about. Exactly.
And
Yeah.
that's a lot of those things are things that most people are going to have to deal with in the work environment anyways, of like working on projects that they don't necessarily want to work on, but their boss told them to, and they have to have it done by this date.
Exactly. So there's all kinds of fundamentals there. What did you enjoy once you got to college?
Yeah.
Were you like, okay, I can benefit from this, or were you like, I gotta get out of here, I gotta get out of here, I gotta get out of
I
here?
gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
I think I had some incredible friends that I met there that I wouldn't have otherwise, but
That was you watching the Disney Channel. Those were not your real friends.
no, that's but for me personally, I think that I think school is great for anyone, and I still continue my education. I still am trying to learn different languages and whatever else.
Why?
For me personally, I feel like I would have rather gone a different route, and I mean maybe I wasn't old enough or mature enough to go
Be
off
a
on
Disney
my own
Channel
at
star?
17, 12, whatever.
Yeah. So when did you stop being mad at your mom?
I still am.
You are.
I mean, we do it in a loving, joking way, but
Right.
yeah.
But you must have gone through some time when you were resentful, or were you always just like, "Oh, it's mom"?
I think I was always like, "Yeah, that's my mom," and I'm not mad at her for it.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, all she did was ruin
that's-
your dream.
well, it's just the way that certain people know of you go to college, you get a job, and she was, in her mind, she was protecting me because if I didn't actually want to pursue a career in entertainment, I would have had to have a degree as a fallback.
Yeah, and I honestly think too, you wouldn't be in the same position you are now if you had done it the other way.
Yeah.
You need to have obstacles thrown in front of you.
It's one of those things where it's the grass is always greener. I have a good friend who she succeeded very young. She did go the Disney route. Her
Is it
parents
Mary
weren't-
Kate Olsen?
No.
Oh, that would have
her
been so
parents
dope.
weren't in the industry. They're in real estate or something. And they allowed her to start going to auditions at, 11, 12. She did do Disney stuff. She went on the tours of them singing and whatever else. And then now she's 21, but she didn't go to college, and she does kind of miss having those experiences.
Yeah. I hear that from people. I try to tell them it's not really that big of an experience to miss.
Well,
You could drink anywhere.
yeah, but that first week of college is a great time.
Okay.
Did I accomplish anything in those weeks?
It's not what it's about.
Nothing. No.
Right.
Eh.
Right. Yeah. I would just say,
I'd rather party on a yacht when I'm 40 and successful.
right. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's fun too. But the
When
first
you're
week
like-
of college is awesome.
When you're like Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street going, I call these fun coupons! Fun coupons! And he's throwing $100 bills. Fun coupons is like the least original thing to call them.
That's great.
I call them fun coupons! Fun coupons! I think, though, that when you get success early like that, it does not set you up for sustainability at all. There's so few people who can maintain early success throughout their lives, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think
Well, I don't necessarily think she maintained a level of success throughout her life. Like, she still has to go to auditions and,
Yeah.
you know, pursue that. And like many people who are in the industry, you never really feel like you found that success. Like,
Right.
you still are like, well, no, this is where I should be in my career.
right. And wouldn't you say that? But I think that it would almost make it more difficult as you get older because it's like some of these things, like getting on a show for her, getting on a TV show or something.
Yeah.
Well, she's already done that, so it's almost like since I have experience, I should be doing this now.
She hasn't been on a show.
Oh, I thought you said she was like.
She did like the Disney tours.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
realize.
They're
I'm not.
different.
I'm not industry enough to
It
realize.
was like
that-
on Radio Disney and stuff, like those kind of things.
What is that?
Radio Disney?
No, I know what Radio Disney is, but what do they do?
Radio.
Radio, yeah. And they play like kid songs.
Oh, so she was like a Kids Bop type performer?
No, not Kids Bop. It's like
That'd be awesome.
I mean the Disney. Think of like Miley Cyrus released an album while she was still under the Disney
right,
Channel, everything.
right,
Banner.
Yeah.
right. So that's what this girl was
Thank you,
doing.
Adrian. Yes.
My pleasure.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
That would suck. To be under the Disney umbrella, but not to be one of the Disney Channel kids?
To not be a star.
I mean, I
Right.
think the hope is
You're
that
right
like
there.
eventually you would be.
Yeah, but she wasn't.
Yeah.
That would suck. It's like you're right there.
And
I
shit.
mean, but it's also better than being the kid in the audition that doesn't get it.
I guess.
well, she got something.
Yeah. Like you
better
still
than
have an
nothing.
opportunity to perform in front of thousands of kids
Yeah.
and go on a tour across the country.
Mm-hmm. But it's almost like you're so close. You know what I mean? There's something soul crushing about being right there. Because we can always say, like Cathy, you can
You weren't
always
the
say
chosen child. You weren't Zendaya or
exactly. Like you can at least say to
Selena
yourself, "Well, I
Miley.
would have done this or that, but I didn't get the opportunity to." She was like, "Oh, I got the opportunity, and I got that close. I was almost there." I feel like it would drive me crazy, drive me nuts. So, what's your plan to deal with your sickness?
emergency. Probably. I mean, I don't really have a plan.
Yeah.
Just gonna lay low for the next 12 hours. Go into work tomorrow morning
Yeah.
like a normal person.
Just go into denial for 12 hours and then figure when you wake up in the morning, I feel okay,
yeah.
knowing that you
Like,
don't.
if I wake up at 6 and I don't feel better,
Yeah.
just gonna go on with my day.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. You have no Are you going to get medicines and stuff like that?
What kind of medicines?
I don't really
Should
take
get.
medicine either. You got to get orange juice.
Mm-hmm.
You got to drink a lot of OJ.
Oh,
Just drink like a whole
Gallon.
jug of it over
Yeah.
the course of the day.
Yeah, you got to drink a lot of orange juice.
Get some rest.
Rest. Stay hydrated. That's where the orange juice would come in. And don't be hungry. You got to eat.
Little chicken noodle soup.
I really wanted to get Chicago style pizza because of
That probably wouldn't help. I don't
the
think.
pay-per-view tonight. Yeah.
I always think that I always feel when I get sick, I just stuff my face with whatever. I feel like I feel better. Like if I'm a little bit hungry
Comfort food.
when I'm sick,
I'm gonna get some soup.
I feel
I love soup.
I feel like my body is shutting down, like just with a little bit, and I'll eat anything and start to feel better. You know what I mean?
What?
Yeah.
You'll eat anything?
Well, anything that I like.
Oh.
Right. Like that's
So
that.
chicken
So,
nuggets.
yeah.
That's
That's what I
what
was just gonna say.
I think. Just stuffing your face with food
Mm-hmm.
and vitamin C is the best thing you can do.
Probably.
You know?
I might go work out.
That
It's a terrible idea.
no,
that
that's
actually
good.
helps.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah,
it makes
it
you
gets
feel
it all
better.
out of your system.
You sweat shit out.
Sweat the
like,
toxins out. But how can it be like? Well, you should rest, but you could also work out. Either one of those will work.
I don't think you're supposed to work out. I think it's more of a mental thing with the workouts. Like I remember in high school being sick and not being able, like being actually sick and not being able to take time off because I was wrestling at the time. Mm-hmm. And those were hard. Like those were grueling workouts. But I remember at the end of those, I would feel better than I had at the beginning of the day.
You get, but yeah, So you have to. I would assume though that's because you're getting an endorphins high.
I think.
So you
You're
just
kind
have
of pushing
to,
your body,
right,
and
because there's going to be a crash after that. You have to time it.
well,
properly.
then you get a good night's sleep.
Right, that's what I mean. You have to time
Yeah.
it properly. Because if you can get the endorphins high, and then go to sleep when you crash, maybe you'll feel better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get a lot of sleep tonight because I haven't been sleeping much lately.
Have you ever had mono?
No.
I just thought mono is the worst thing ever.
You get it from making out, right?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, yeah.
Got
why
it.
I
I got
never
it
got it.
pretty young.
I was awkward and no one wanted to kiss me.
Well, I was a very healthy child.
I got it at 16,
16.
and it was the most miserable month of my life.
Did it go around your high school?
Yeah.
It did. So all the cool kids had mono.
Well, I mean, I don't remember. I think that the girl who ended up being my girlfriend gave it to me at the time.
What's her name?
Natalie.
Natalie. Does it suck when Natalie gave you mono and then you found out that 3 other guys had mono too?
No, because no,
I share drinks. That's all. I just share drinks sometimes.
but I got it, and I remember, that was the worst illness I've ever had.
What did your parents say when you were like, I got mono?
Oh, stop kissing chicks.
Is that it?
I mean, my parents knew
Right, right.
how I was. My
Look,
parents-
if your son's if you give birth to a stud, you're going to realize you give birth to a stud.
yeah,
What do you? I mean, what is it going to be? A secret?
yeah,
You
give me
know?
high fives.
They did.
Yeah,
Your mom just fist pounding. Nice,
Oh no.
nice kid.
yeah,
Yeah,
get it.
yeah. That's what your mom would say.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's
That's
good.
how she is.
That's good. That's cool. I like your mom.
Yeah.
I think she's a great, great lady.
She's a sweetheart.
She sounds like a sweetheart. She sounds like a super, super lady.
A chill lady.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's got a ton of chill. Your mom, Kathy, not as much chill. She won't allow you to do girl stuff.
Different kind of chill.
Yeah, different kind of chill.
Yeah.
Adrian's mom is just super chill. She just sits there like, yeah, get it, bro. Get it, bro.
Yeah,
I like that. That's cool.
I mean, not really. My mom was never happy with any of it.
I wouldn't imagine. Why would she be?
She did not like my habits with girls.
It's like Joe Pesci's mom in Goodfellas.
Yeah,
Just waiting. Just waiting. One of these days,
yeah.
a nice girl's going to come home.
I like that your hoodie has a built-in fanny pack.
It's nice, right? You're supposed to put your iPod in it,
Oh.
I guess.
Yeah, it is a built-in fanny pack. It's one of those front pockets, but it's at the top.
Yeah. Isn't it cool?
Oh, no.
It's little and hidden.
And is that a zipper?
Yeah, you close
It really is a built-in fanny pack.
Yeah. I put stuff in there.
What do you put in there?
Change.
They say that's for your iPod, but it's for weed, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
mostly what it was used
Primarily
for.
for. Yeah.
When they were giving this, when they gave these switchers to us, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But for a wrestling thing?
You want a drug test?
These were switchers that you would wear.
Do high school sports
Warming up.
drug test?
They started when I was in high school.
Oh,
My high
bummer.
Because of you?
started. No, not because of me. I didn't really do any drugs until later. But my high school started drug testing like everybody.
Right. Your only drug was the ladies.
Love was my drug.
Love was your drug. How about lust?
Yeah.
I was addicted to lust.
Addicted to lust.
It sounds better with that deep voice.
Thanks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's good.
Going for a Louis Armstrong vibe.
I think it's working.
Skies are blue.
Perfect. That sounds. Would you put it on the record just now, or drug test? Why did they start drug testing in high school? Was the drug use that bad, or is it because
No, they just wanted a reason to hassle people.
was it or is
No,
it?
they probably wanted to protect the children,
From
the
what?
youth
From
of
smoking
America.
weed? Like nobody was doing any hard drugs.
Nobody.
No one.
Gateway.
Yeah, I mean, like it's all shit. It's just looking for reasons to hassle kids. Like just let kids smoke weed.
Yeah, but
Nobody's
then
getting hurt.
I think it was probably because it came from above, meaning they have to stop these kids from smoking weed now because then they go to college and smoke weed, and once you get to college, it's a business. So the NCAA puts out these rules that you
It
can't
wasn't
smoke
just
weed.
athletes. It was it was a school-wide thing.
They were testing just kids
Random drug testing.
for just children.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
high school.
athlete testing; it was student testing.
Yeah. They started athlete testing in the state. It was a New Jersey thing. When I was a freshman,
I can
I
understand.
got tested because they were testing for steroids and performance-enhancing drugs.
Right.
And then my school implemented it. A few schools did it, and our school did it. They gave reasons, but it was all horseshit reasons.
Like what kind of reasons? That seems like a
I
civil
forget.
rights
I
violation.
honestly don't remember. what their reasoning was, but I remember. I mean, it was nonsense.
Did parents get outraged?
Nonsense. Yeah, a lot of parents did. A lot of parents were fucking pissed. Like, why are we spending money on this shit? I think they did it because if you implemented the program, you got some sort of government grant.
Oh, like the school system.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what their reasoning was.
I can't imagine going to school and just having to get piss tests just for going to school.
Yeah, I mean, but also everybody would. It was tough to cheat these because they were serious. Like, you just got pulled out at random. Our security guy.
So you'd have to walk around with piss.
Some people did. I also knew a kid who one time, our security guy's name was Clayton. And I remember a kid Clayton went to go grab one time. And he was just like, oh, I got to get drug tested? And he was like, yeah. He was like, okay. So he got up from his chair and he walked Clayton out of the classroom. And as soon as they were in the hallway, he hit a dead sprint out the door and ran all the way home.
Just went home.
Yeah. And then
I have dreamed.
He did it again.
I think about that. I have dreamed of having that mentality for so long. I have always been a person with long-term in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And so the idea of just running away never was an option for me because I would know, well, I'm going to have to deal with this tomorrow or at some point. This doesn't just go away if I run away.
Yeah.
But I've always been jealous of the people that are like, okay, here's the plan. I'm just going to run. I'm going to go fast and I'm going to go far away and then they'll just leave me alone.
So cry for help.
I love that.
And the punishment was, if you tested positive for anything,
I was going to ask
was
that.
you had to go into a rehab program.
What?
It was a short one, an outpatient thing where you had to show up like twice a week for a certain amount of weeks, and you would be suspended from sports, from whatever sport you were playing. If you weren't an athlete, you'd be suspended from your club, or you couldn't go to the prom, or you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. And it was nonsense. Like, it was fucking hassling people, and it became to the point. Yeah, you were right. It was a civil rights thing. It was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And for the purpose of what? To keep kids from smoking pot and drinking beer?
It seems like it's just to add punishments. Like, I don't see the positive that really comes from that.
Yeah, and I mean, we had a lot of crazy kids in my high school. Like, there was a big, like, where I grew up was a big party town. So, like, I understand, like, yeah, there was going to be people here who are going to test positive.
Yeah, but, I mean, drug tests are not going to...
But no, it doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop
anybody. Because then we just find ways around it, or we just test.
It stops the nerds.
Exactly, that weren't doing anything
Yeah.
anyway. It just reinforces the Cathy Kelleys of the world as to why this is bad and you shouldn't do it.
And they said it was random drug testing, and it was not random.
They would just take the
Like,
bad
your
kids.
eyes are red.
They tested kids that they knew
Right.
were pot smokers, or kids who they wanted, kids who had caused them headaches, who they wanted to get in trouble.
And honestly, it was probably because they got more of a kickback from the government if they showed great results. They're like, look at this. We found this person positive, and they haven't tested
I'm not
positive
positive
again.
that that's why they did it, but I'm pretty sure that's,
I would
that's how
imagine.
it went into effect.
I wouldn't see any other reason for doing it. I mean, it costs money.
Yeah, but I remember like people. It created this submarket of piss trading.
It did.
Yeah.
Did you ever sell your piss?
I didn't sell it, but it could, like, during periods of time where my piss was clean, I would give it to
You
my
would give
friends.
it.
Yeah. Sometimes I needed piss from people though, just in case. But it got to the point where everybody wore those, the cargo sweatpants
Yeah.
with the big pocket down by the knee.
Yeah, sure.
Everybody was walking around with fucking bottles
bottles
full
in
of piss in their pockets, just in case.
Like what kind of bottles?
Like little Purell.
Oh, so it's like a small Purell, like one of the travel size Purell bottles, but piss in it.
Yeah.
And you would go in the bathroom.
Yeah, but it was tough. It was still tough though because they were serious drug tests because they had the little stick that told you if the temperature was off by too many degrees,
to
turn the
warm
wrong
it up
color, you
before?
fail. Yeah, like it was.
But couldn't you just be like, yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know.
They were legit. Well, if they thought that there was tampering, then you would just take another one. You would take another test.
So you have to have 2 piss bottles.
Yeah, but like.
Yeah, 'cause they can't-
Maybe you should keep it in your underwear so that
Well,
it's
yeah, if you
warm.
That's
exactly,
right.
yeah.
Someone
so I
else's
remember, like,
piss.
or people would I mean, it started this whole thing. Like people would.
Do you know how hard I would be trying? You know the scene in Napoleon Dynamite where he crushes the tater tots in his pocket? Do you know how hard I'd be trying to get somebody's piss bottle to spill in their pocket? Do you know how much I would spend my days trying to break somebody's piss bottle in their pocket? That would literally be my sole focus in school. I would have one focus, and it would be to get somebody to spill urine on their pants today.
Actually, that just made me realize if you failed, you had to go to High Focus. Was the name of the drug program.
So stupid.
But yeah, everybody was carrying around piss or just refusing to take the test. But if you refused, then you got the same punishment you would have if you had failed the test.
So you had to go to rehab if you refused.
Yeah.
Or just punishments in the sense you'd get kicked off the team, club, whatever.
Yeah, and it was like if it got a couple of my friends in trouble. The one time I got pulled twice for it, and one time I was not clean, and I don't know what happened, but I didn't get in trouble.
It was just a false positive
No,
or a false negative.
I guess. I mean, I never heard anything after I pissed in the cup.
Right.
But I remember pissing like such a minuscule amount, like a couple drops. I
And
mean,
then
like,
you're
okay,
like-
this definitely isn't enough for them to test, but it's enough for like, okay, you gave us
And you're like,
piss.
it's all I could go.
Yeah, that's what I told them. Yeah.
I didn't have any more. It's all I could
I don't
go.
have to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was all I had to do.
Yeah. But like I knew people who were trying to come up with all kinds of ways to beat tests. Like kids would fucking take like an insane dosage of niacin over the course of a week.
You realize, though, can we backtrack for a second, that you guys got super offended that I metaphorically talked about pooping my pants. And now you're talking about peeing legit and
I mean,
carrying
shitting
around
your pants
pee.
is disgusting.
It's
Kathy.
way
But
grosser. It's
No.
way
Yeah, it
more
is.
gross. And
And
I
that's
can't
what-
believe
as an adult.
I can't believe you
didn't
did that in
actually
front of
do it.
Hannah Montana. That's gross.
I didn't do it.
I mean, I don't. It's not that big. I mean, I shit my pants like
In front of Hannah Montana?
No, not in front of anybody.
Shits his pants every day.
No, I do it like I would say 2 or 3 times a year. I'd say.
I gotta get a new producer.
Why?
That's ridiculous.
Shards happen.
I don't.
No, they
no,
don't.
they don't.
I mean, whatever.
They don't. You know when's the last time that I defecated in my pants?
Come on.
I have no clue.
Oh.
I don't either. It's probably a
Is
very.
it because you have dementia?
No, it has nothing to do with my dementia. I was a very, very small child. I might have been wearing a diaper, quite frankly. That's how small of a child I was. You know, like 2 to 3 times. Never in my adult life has that happened ever.
Not
Even
once?
close.
Shit shaming him?
I am.
That's how it feels.
It should be.
Yeah.
I am. I believe in shaming.
Well, you pull far too hard, sometimes it happens.
Well, yeah, that's why it's like and you deserve it to happen if you're one of these people who just want to push out a fart because it's funny. Good. I'm glad that happened because that's stupid. That's where we're at.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's where we're at. All right, let's end this thing
On a good note.
on a positive note. Kathy, I hope that you're feeling better.
I'm not. My face feels like it's about to explode.
It does. Oh, well, if it makes you feel any better, you look like a bucket of snot.
No.
No, I'm sorry. Adrian,
Bus.
did you change your Twitter name?
No.
Why?
Because to be honest with you, when after we walked out of here the other day, just completely, and I was
That's it.
thinking about it.
There it is.
I am not concerned about making my Twitter name new media, Adrian.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why no one wants to follow you.
That's
Well,
it.
I mean, I don't really need followers.
So why are you on Twitter?
It's, like, it's not a concern of mine.
why
you
are
know?
you on, why are you on Twitter?
I mean, I don't really tweet.
Okay, so then
I'm on it for work.
But don't you need validation like me and Sam?
yeah, I don't understand.
Not really.
You're not even verified.
Yeah, I know.
It's
It's not-
amazing.
I mean, yeah, like good for you, but it's not like I'm.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I'm
I
sure.
read-
That's great. Like I'm happy for you.
I read my tweets back every day just to look at those
But,
checks.
like I'm not concerned about like the whole like you know. It's like whatever.
No, I don't know. I couldn't relate less.
Is it that big of a thing? The validation.
Yeah. That's the only reason that people like Kathy and I do what we do.
It's because you need other people
Sam
to.
had no self-worth before this.
I still don't. That's why I keep doing it.
Yeah. See, like I'm not. I don't have that in my head.
Right.
You know.
Well,
He doesn't feel the need to be liked by anyone. And
That's-
it's apparent.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm cool.
Just poop it all over the place.
Yeah, kind of just do my thing. Like
I kind of just do my thing.
Do you have pee in your pocket right now?
He does. Just in case. Just in case. Because he got conditioned. Like, cool kids have piss in their pockets. We all know that.
yeah. I mean, I've never really been into. I don't like social media.
Wow.
I know
Just
that's how
makes
the
you-
world is, but
Yeah, that makes you super cool.
I mean, that's not what it is. I
Kathy, you like social media.
love it.
Yeah, I do.
You can follow Kathy at Catherine Kelley on Twitter and at Cathy Kelley on Instagram. And that's another one we're going to have to fix.
Fix it.
Yeah. And we'll be back here on Monday. Make sure you tune in tonight, no matter what night you're listening to this, if it's Monday through Friday, to Sam Roberts Show on XM 103, Series 206, 9 to midnight live. See you later.